Hey Naomi. Welcome to the session. I'm really happy to have you here today with me. So, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing very well and I'm very excited to be here to share my story with you.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And honestly, I've been excited for this conversation because you're still currently in your internship journey, right? So, I feel like we're getting the real time version of everything. Also, I think it's 6 months in Doha already. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct. And actually, I got an extension on my internship, so I will be leaving in August. So I'm going on to 10 months.
So, can you tell us a little about yourself and your background?
So, my name is Naomi Hoyte, and growing up in Trinidad and Tobago, it's a very warm, tropical country. Everybody is very friendly, a very close knit community that I was raised in. And what I studied in school, things that I were interested in, were mostly revolving around art and creating and designing and becoming creative with colors and textures. And I was very interested in other places. I would love the idea of going to different countries and seeing different places, but it always just felt like a dream to me growing up.
What study did you take?
Well, when I completed secondary school, by that time I had completed courses in French, art, biology, chemistry. My study revolved around the creative aspect, arts, visual arts. I love to paint, I love to make sculptures. I like to draw and sketch and make designs. And chemistry and biology, the sciences, were very, very interesting to me because of how systematic it was. French was on the cherry on top of the cake because the French language, I found it so beautiful. When I graduated, it was 2022. So I did 2 extra years. That's the advanced classes in my secondary years. I didn't attend university, but I did attend culinary school. So after culinary school, I would have finished in 2024. So I applied for a 2-year program in culinary, food preparation, and baking arts.
How would you describe your experience so far in Doha, Qatar?
So far, my experience here, it's been very, very eye-opening to see how I finally made it to actually literally the other side of the planet. I never would have imagined I would reach this far, you know. When I told people that I was leaving, they expected me to go somewhere like Canada or America, the UK. And then I told them I'm going to Qatar. What? You're going there? I got here and I was in complete shock. It was so beautiful when I was coming from the airport and seeing how well developed the whole country is. I realized then and there when I landed and got out of the airport, what I saw, where I was, I could see that this was going to be the beginning of my career. Being in places so beautiful and developed, that this is where I start out in my career.
I see. And that sounds like such a meaningful experience after a few months abroad, right? And if you compare how you felt on day one versus like today, what has changed the most?
The most that's changed, I vividly remember surviving the process of traveling alone over those 3 days of making it to Qatar. I remember patting myself on the back. You made it. You did everything right. You got it. You made it here. I sat in my apartment and looked around and realized, okay, now I have to survive 6 months of being here. What changed for me the most was definitely how I broke up my congratulations to myself. I would have to break up the 6 months into smaller pieces. I have to tell myself, good job on this small task that you completed. So by the time I got to the 6-month point, I've congratulated myself on a lot of things that I've achieved. And I can safely say that I've grown a bit more secure than I was when I started out. But there were a lot of times when I had to brave it and then congratulate myself for surviving it after.
That's a very good point. Like, you have to appreciate yourself even for small things instead of overthink it. How did this whole journey even begin for you? Like, how did you find about RMC Asia at first, and what made you say yes to this opportunity?
I think it was around the beginning of my second year when I started to ask myself, what am I going to do after I graduate? But then one day, a past student came in. She was a past student that went for internship in Singapore. She was happy, she was smiling, and she was telling us all these stories about how wonderful it was over there in a different country. It was another experience where I thought it was just something out of reach. It wasn't something that I could do. But then they explained to me all she did was apply. All she did was apply on RMCA website. It was very, very simple. She showed me the website. and I sent in applications and all of my documents. And immediately, like maybe a week or so afterwards, I started getting emails. It's really a dream come true.
Has anything about Qatar surprised?
Well, certain things did surprise me because when I told people that I was coming to the Middle East, there was a lot of people telling me how strict it is here and you have to be careful, it's so strict, you can't do anything. And I was filled with fear at that point. So I got here and I was expecting guards everywhere and everything's so, locked down. But when I got here, it was so clean and very safe. It was very, very modern, I must say. And I was surprised by how luxurious and free everything looked. I was very surprised by how clean the streets were and how organized everything is.
Can you describe your internship role and department, like day to day?
So my role in the department is pastry intern. So I'm responsible for assisting in the kitchen. But at some point, I just went from assisting to fully managing completely by myself. So when I'm in the kitchen, I'm an intern, I'm being paid. I have accommodations. Eventually, they put me to take charge of an entire shift by myself. So I did learn to manage completely on my own. I learned the desserts, and I picked up these skills, and I tried to manage my time.
Okay, that sounds like such a hands-on experience. What professional skills are you currently developing?
The professional skills that I'm currently working on would most likely definitely be revolving around communication. Maintaining composure and professionalism in the kitchen, being able to communicate what you need and what you want. Communication is definitely something that will be an asset to you in the professional industry, especially in the kitchen.
So, how would you describe daily life in Qatar?
It is just the most freeing, relaxing experience because everything is so accessible through the metro station they have. I can look up on Google where are some nice, inexpensive places that I can go to. They gave me 6 different options for different parks that I can go to and how I can get there. Uber is not that expensive, but the metro is even less expensive. Because I'm working in the hospitality industry, be it like another hotel or another club or something, there is a discount that is provided for hotel workers. It's called the hotelier discount. It is provided between 10 to 15% discount on most items. I was surprised to see the naturesque areas in the desert when I was coming out here. But there is a lot of greenery and flowers and plants in different places. They do pay very close attention to the agricultural side of their country. And this country is so beautiful. I am looking forward to my other day off tomorrow because I'm going to explore Souk Al Wakra. It's a beach. I'm so excited to go check it out.
How has RMC Asia supported you during your internship so far?
Well, I can safely say that anytime I had any concerns or questions or queries or worries, I would message them or email them, and they would respond very quickly, and they would give me reassurance as soon as I needed it. And regarding the situation that's currently going on, that was currently going on, regarding the war, I wasn't expecting this to happen when I came here. It was something, again, that seemed far away. Oh, that'll never happen. Went and contacted RMC and they gave me all the reassurance that I needed, and it kept me calm, it kept me relaxed, it kept me composed, and I can safely say they were very, very communicative with all my concerns. So 10 out of 10. When it first happened for me, it was the second time it happened here. So the people around me were very calm, they weren't too panicked, and it relaxed me in a bit. It was definitely surprising. I never would have thought that I would end up in the middle of a war. But they explained how things happened last time. There's a very, very secure alert system. Things went very smoothly and we weren't in any danger.
It's really good to hear. So is there anything you'd like to share maybe for future participants who are watching this?
Don't hesitate to reach out for what you want. If you don't get it, you reached out anyway. Something else will come in its place. Right with anything that you wanted disappeared, something else will show up. Okay, so keep reaching out, keep looking, keep saying yes, keep applying. You're going to find something, it's going to happen. And RMC Asia is definitely something that is going to be beneficial to you. They will take care of you and they will send you where you want to go.
We have a lot of opportunities in this world, so you gotta experience all of it. Naomi, thank you so much for sharing your journey. It was honestly so nice hearing for your perspective. I'm really excited to see how the rest of your internship goes, and I'm sure people watching are going to feel inspired by your story.
Thank you so much for having me. I was so really, really glad to hear from you.